Hello, it's Nikki and welcome to a brand new podcast. I am thrilled. Oh, I am so thrilled. They've just gone live. I am going to be hosting some more events. Unfortunately, they are not in person. We're not quite there yet, but we are there online. We are there with our Le Creuset mugs, which is what has been the running theme previously. If you don't have a Le Creuset mug, that is absolutely fine as well. But I will be interested in what kind of mug you do have. As a avid tea drinker myself, it has to be about the right mug, doesn't it? Anyway, I want to tell you about 3 events I'm going to be doing over the next couple of months. I love doing things live. It's my acting background, I'm sure. I love that sense of being in the room, in the flesh, in the presence of other people, and really doing this work from a point of let's do this, and let's do this today. And let's do this so we actually tick the things off our list. I know out there it feels a bit wild at the moment. It feels like we should actually not be progressing, that we should just be shelving our ideas and hoping for the best and hoping to kind of go into hibernation and wake up when this is all over. But the thing is, I keep saying this, that actually my business and me working and me living a life that feels really good has to continue. It has to keep moving forward, because otherwise what's the alternative? That I just sit at home and watch the news all day and tell my kids how worried and scared and anxious and fearful that I am? No, because actually I do have tools. I've worked really hard at this over the years, and actually that's probably a conversation for another day, but I've worked really hard not to work hard. And that's not necessarily just in terms of time. It's to work in a way that feels really good. I actually never wake up on a Monday and go, oh my goodness, here we go. Here's another day. Oh, nightmare. I actually get so excited about what's to come. And that is because I've really been conscious and curated how I want my business and life to run. And that's not to say it's always easy. That's not always to say that sometimes I get a weird curveball where I suddenly have to stop and pivot and think about things and do things in a different way. That's not to say that I'm not challenged, because I am. I think to stand out online, I think to be audacious in actually going for your dreams and to quieten down that inner critic, it takes real guts. I was saying to Matt the other day, actually, it would be so much easier. I almost swore then, sorry. It would be so much easier just to do normal things, just to play safe, just to coast. Coast was the word that I used. It'd be so much easier to do that, to get stuck in the mundane, to get stuck in the, oh, hiya, how are you? Yeah, not bad. I'm all right. Oh, it's almost Friday. I actually make a decision not to do that small talk. And when I get a mum or when I get a friend that like we can sit and have a 3-hour conversation and put the world to rights, that's what really lights a fire. So over the next few months, whatever happens, I want to let you know about some really lovely spaces that I'm going to be holding. The first one I'm going to go into very short detail, because this is actually Jam and Plan number 5 and Jam and Plan number 6. I started running these CEO days at the beginning of lockdown. I really sensed that people needed, and I was right actually, they told me, they were like, oh, this is exactly what I need. Everybody needed that time to actually have a CEO day. And this Jam and Plan live idea came from me personally having a CEO day where I actually had to go somewhere else. I think I sat in the park for about 5 hours and plotted all of this stuff. I really worked through this process because I needed it. The world felt heavy. My business felt heavy. I couldn't get clarity. We had 2 small children home. It was very hot. My partner was working and then his job changed. And oh my goodness, there was all kinds of things going on. So I know the power of this CEO day. I also know the power of implementation. And this is the secret part of this training, of this experience that we now know to be Jam and Plan Live. The magic element to this is not only do I give you tools, techniques, things to think about, frameworks, templates, ideas, foundations, all within a day. And of course, it's fully recorded. So if you need to catch up or you want to go back on anything, you absolutely can. But this is the magic. For the next week, I am there as your cheerleader with far less actual core strength because, you know, I've had 2 children and I'm a 38-year-old woman, but I'm going to be there for the week afterwards. So you actually do the things that you want to do. So you actually do the things that you are setting out to do. And I'm saying that again, not to be patronizing, not to call you out, but so you hear it. You hear what I'm saying. Because how often have we all bought notebooks or planners or set a new spreadsheet or a journal or a new diary, and we do it really well for the first week and then it just kind of falls off? Or how often have you been to live workshops and you leave and you get in the car and you're like, oh my God, that was amazing, the possibilities, I'm going to do this, this and this. And the next morning you wake up with this like hangover of like, yeah, but maybe that's not possible for me, or maybe, I don't know where to start, or I feel overwhelmed, or you just kind of do whatever's easiest, which is to go back into what you've always known, what you've always done. So Jam and Plan, that 2-part series, is absolutely priceless. So do check it out under live events on my website. There is a date in November and there's a date in January as well. And in the January one, there's a payment plan. So if you do prefer to do 2 payments, you're more than welcome to do that also. The second one I want to tell you about is a brand new offering. And this has been coming up from my clients, from my inquiries. And I thought, do you know what? Let's just do this. Because there's nothing more frustrating for you or for me when somebody's not making progress, when they feel like they're going round and round in circles and they know this thing is lurking in the background and they're not actually doing the things that they want to be doing. Because, you know, life gets busy. There's always something on the to-do list. There's always someone or something that takes your priority. So what is this second event about? And also it's coming up really soon. So, I'm getting ahead of myself. Breathe, Nikki, breathe. All right. This is called your online home makeover. Now, I make no secret about this. I absolutely love makeover shows, grand designs and 60-minute makeover. I'm sure I've watched like restoration dream houses. I used to love changing rooms back in the day. So many. And I'm using this when I'm talking about your website, when I'm talking about your online presence, because there are so many appalling websites out there. And you yourself may have had, I need to sort my website out on your to-do list. But yet something else has taken your attention. Something else has taken your time. Well, no more. We are going to sort it. Now, just to say this from the outset, I'm not a coder, so I'm not going to be talking about plugins, or I'm not going to be talking about special effects or anything like that. I'm going to be helping you to get to the heart and soul of what it is you're here to do and how you can represent yourself online so you are able to be booked, able to be connected with, so people really understand who you are and what you're all about. And the reason this is so important right now is because we are not going out and networking, are we? We're not going places, we're not doing things. So this is all about really making sure that your online home is singing for you, is really working for you. So it's not going to be any weird template versions. It's not going to be all about, well, I should do this because everybody in my industry does it. There's no crazy coding or boring dry text. So how is it going to work? Well, this one is slightly different. I know that with this, you're going to want time to implement and think about things in between. So this is 2 Sundays. So the first is Sunday, the 1st of November. And this is going to be part 1, where I'm going to be helping you to figure out who your guests are that you want to come to your online home. So those ideal clients, customers, press, maybe bookers, so people who will hire you to speak or to contribute or to feature, any of those things. And I start here because you actually can't build an online home unless you know who you're building it for, right? And how they want to use it. And what I often find is when you're in it, it can be really hard to unpick this creatively. So firstly, I'm going to be helping you to get clear on who you actually want to invite into your online home. And this is not about being overcrowded or reckless like a throwback to a 90s house party. This is about really thinking who your right people are. Who are the right people for you and for your brand? And spoiler alert, you don't need millions of clicks just to have a successful business. You just need the right people. Also, I'm going to be helping you figure out how you would actually like to spend time with them. So when I have people come into my world, come into my business, I operate very much from how can I build a relationship with them and how can I be useful? So once people land on your online home, what do you want them to do? How can you make the process really seamless? Because how many websites have you been on that are so vague and they're overcomplicated and they make you click away because you just don't know what to do? And you know, I'm all about ease and flow over here. The third part to this is how do you want to make people feel? We all need to feel heard and recognized and understood. And this has blown my mind because actually so many of my customers, my clients, I've actually never met in person. And this blows my mind because I always thought that you had to be in the room. And even though that person has never met me, they know me, they trust me, we have a relationship. So that's part 1. That's going to be a standalone 2-hour, really deep dive, immersive experience where we're going to be looking at who you want your guests to be. Part 2 will be the following Sunday. And this is going to be a 10 till 12 workshop again fully recorded. It's going to be on the 8th of November. And we're now going to be focusing on your online venue. So what is this venue? And again, this is not about following the rules. You know, my sassy 17-year-old is very much leading the way. So this is about you really tuning in to actually your personal brand is unique and therefore it needs a unique approach. So no templates here, my friends. Also, your online home may need to house several or multiple roles or rooms, which may not make sense on paper. So let me give you an example. So I'm an actor, a coach, a writer, a speaker, and a podcaster. And I don't have separate websites. I have done in the past, but blimey, that was so overcomplicated. So I now am able to fully own the fact that I am multifaceted, but my personal brand isn't confused or diluted. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the accessibility. So how do different people use your website? The randoms, the lurkers, the hardcore fans, the buyers, the researchers, the I wonder what she's up to. The people who want everything that you have. the ones who are ready now, and the ones who want a bit more time or will come back to you later. We're going to be really establishing where those people are at and how you can serve them in the most, I was going to say the most profound way, but that sounds dramatic, but I'm going to go with it. The next thing, the expert. How do you become not another? So another blogger, another coach, another social media person, etc., etc. There are so many trends at the moment. So how do you walk your own path, put your blinkers on and become the go-to person and a breath of fresh air? And I always have recognized this over the years when I've worked with people where people go, you were the first person I thought of. And so I've really unpacked that process and thought, why though? Because there are so many other people who do something similar. So how can you stand out in your market? Finally, I'm going to be talking about how people pay you. So you want your website to be a business asset. You want it to be the checkout. So what is your sales process? How do people move from browsing to inquiring, to reading your sales page for the 1018th time, to actually entering their payment details? So let's help your people to check out so they gain your expertise. Who is this online makeover session for? Right, I'm going to say it up front because actually this isn't for everybody. And some people go, what? Do I actually have to show up? Do I have to do the thing? I'm too tired. There's going to be people like that. And if you are in that mindset, it's not for you, because you know when you've seen me show up and when I do these workshops, sorry if you can hear my washing machine in the background, you know that I show up with full gusto. So you're ready to stop dabbling, to give yourself full permission to show up and show people what you can do. I know that you want a website that you're proud of, that showcases your talents and your expertise and how people can work with you. And you're looking to increase your profits as well. Hello, let's make more money. Why not? So you want to charge the prices that feel in alignment with the value that you deliver. How many times have you been on a website and it's really clunky and none of the links work and you're just like, I'm just not sure about this person. You don't want that when somebody lands when they get to you. You also maybe need clarity on where to put what. So you want to give lots of information and say how credible you are, but you don't want to confuse the situation. You want to attract people who email you saying, I'm ready to do this. Where can I book? Or you've been recommended to me by so many people. That's what somebody said to me. Like, I keep hearing your name again and again. Also, another powerful one is I read your website and I felt like you were talking directly to me. And do you know what? If you get this right, and this is like giving you the moon on the stick, you're not going to be going back and forth, faffing in your DMs or your emails like, hiya, how do I work with you? I'll think about it. I'll come back. I don't know. You're not going to attract those clients, because you're going to attract the clients if you put your flag in the sand and be like, here I am. This is what I do. You're going to receive that from people who discover you. So you want to create a welcoming space for visitors to get to know you and familiarize yourself with your personal brand without you having, imagine if we actually had to do this, walk down your local high street with a sandwich board or spend hours on the phone for free explaining what you do. If you get this right, and if you've worked with me before, if you've experienced my materials, my podcast, you will know I'm all about doing something once and letting it work for you. I don't have time or inclination or energy to keep reinventing the wheel. So let's get the foundations right. Let's really carve out what it is that you want to do. Finally, you want to position yourself as an expert in your own way, not a stuffy or cold manner, but with professionalism that shows you can deliver with style. So there are two options here. One is the classic. So you can do the 2-hour workshops and you can literally show up or watch them in your own time, and you can work in a very sort of solo way. So you can do all of that by yourself. However, if you want my expert eye, accountability, me holding space, another eye on what you're doing, a sense of, oh my goodness, I've actually got to do this because Nikki's on the end of WhatsApp, then the done with me option will be great for you. And what will happen is we'll do our first session on the 1st of November. For that whole week, you get unlimited support from me. And then there's a second session on the 8th of November, and you get a full another week of support as well. So that is the Done With Me session. So I am so excited to support you. If you want to discover more about these, there's loads of testimonials on my website. Find out what kind of people are in that thing. So many different people, from interior designers to personal trainers to VAs to chefs to actors to journalists to founders to app developers. So many different businesses. So if you have any questions, please do not sit in silence. I'm here at the end of my emails, and you can email hello@nikkiraby.com. And if you're not sure, like, which do I do? I've only got a set budget. Don't worry, I will advise you. Just please give me as much information as possible. That's all I ask. But if you're ready, do book your spot. They are limited because it does involve me personally. There's only one of me. I'm not at a point of cloning myself yet. Oh my God, that would be so weird. But I hope you've enjoyed listening today. And do you know what? Whether you work with me, whether you do this event or not, I want you to take action. Please turn off the news. Please stop feeling like nothing is ever going to work for you again. Wherever you can, take slow and sure steps. Again, some of you might be like, Nikki, it still feels a bit inappropriate, like we're doing this and we're doing that. I'm not saying we have to change the world overnight. I'm not saying that you suddenly have to, I don't know, follow the hustle and work 18-hour days, but please don't just put your dreams to the back of a cupboard. Please do continue to build the business that you really want to build. I'm sending so much love as always. And if you, final thing, when you sign up, there's already loads of videos. There's loads of work to get cracking on with. So you're not just going to a blank like, hi, I'll see you on the next event. There's stuff to get cracking with. So if you're needing a bit of motivation, if you've been lifted by this podcast and you're like, hang about, Nikki, I actually need to do this. Why am I still faffing? It's the 10th month of the year. What have I done? This is a golden quarter, pals. And oh, now the sirens are starting. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. Do check them out under live events, and I'll catch you again very soon. Lots of love.